And hello, I'm Jill Ryan, Executive Director of Freshwater Future, and I'm really happy and excited to be able to invite everyone and welcome everyone to today's virtual award ceremony for our freshwater heroes. It's been a tradition for us to present awards to both organizations and individuals throughout the years for all the amazing work that goes on the ground. And really that's why we're here. I think I want to let you know that a few of our board members are on and will be with us today. We have Stephanie Smith is not on yet, but she will be joining and speaking with you a little later in the program. Lauren McConnell is one of our treasurers, and she is with us, as well as Rob Lesher, and he is our secretary. So we're pleased to have them on to help honor all of the awardees. The amazing thing is that individually, sometimes I think we can feel like our work is overwhelming. We're too small of a piece of a much larger puzzle to be able to solve water issues. But really, when you look at the power of this network, even, we have about 2,000 organizations across 8 states and Ontario, as well as about 15,000 advocates that work with us. And when you bring all of that together, we are making a difference, a big difference. We're making a difference for the fishes and the frogs, the wetlands, the lakes, but also the people, the children, the families, and we're making an impact every single day. And I think what we're going to hear today is an amazing tribute to great projects across the region that have been going on, and we hope that will be an inspiration to all of us, so that we recognize that we are part of this bigger voice. All of our collective work is really making an impact for our Great Lakes region. We want to thank all of the awardees for making your kitchen tables your offices for this work. I've heard so many people who have said that, you kind of take over part of your home to be able to do this kind of work and speak for those who can't necessarily speak for themselves. And so we are just so grateful to be here to hear from some of our awardees and to get the chance to celebrate. I think as environmentalists, sometimes we get so caught up in the difficulty of the work, in the challenges, in the inequities, that we forget that we're winning the day in many cases. And overall, we're winning the day because we stick with it. We're there, and we're going to protect these resources for our children and future generations. And so that's what's really exciting about today. And so without further delay, I'm going to turn it back over to Ann, who will be Ann Bauman is our Associate Director, and she will be our MC for the day.
Well, thanks, Jill. That was a great kickoff for our event. And this is one of the best days of the year when we get to take a moment to appreciate everyone. And it's just so uplifting that I'm so honored to be a part of it as well. So I'm not going to dilly-dally. We're just going to get right into it. That's my job, is to keep us moving along so we can have this celebration. And so our first Freshwater Hero Award goes to a Great Lakes advocate, Ruth Ogawa. Ruth Ogawa has started nonprofits both in the US and in Canada to protect the Great Lakes and their watersheds. And she is one of those big idea people. She just comes up with an idea and goes for it, which many of you can relate to, I'm sure. So unfortunately, Ruth can't be with us today. So I'm going to actually pass it right back to Jill to just say a few words about Ruth since she knows her.
Thanks, Ann. So Ruth Agawa, I first met up in Petoskey, where our main office is and where our organization started 26 years ago. And Ruth was critical in starting many organizations in northern Michigan and beyond in Canada. And she is a social entrepreneur at heart. She creates solutions for the issues that we have as humans. And she has a great connection to water and land. And I think all of those things came together to allow her to help create so many organizations that are now thriving and moving water and land protection forward. So we really appreciate Ruth. She spent a lifetime doing this. And I can't even count the number of organizations she helped create and make sustainable. So we very much appreciate all that Ruth has done and her understanding of the power of nonprofits. She really understood that these entities that don't have financial requirements the same way that for-profits do could really make a difference for what we needed to solve problems for. So we thank Ruth and all of her amazing work that preceded many of our organizations. So thank you, Ruth. We're sorry you're not with us, but we're really appreciative of all you've done.
Thanks, Jill. That's fantastic. And for the picture, Ruth is actually the second one on the right with that bright green sweatshirt and that beautiful bright red hair. So just so we can hone in on her for a second before we switch. So actually the next award goes to Friends of the Black River Forest from Sheboygan, Wisconsin, for their efforts to protect forested wetlands from development that are on the shores of the Lake Michigan, which are critical for safekeeping our drinking water resources. So accepting on their behalf is Claudia Bricks.
Hi, thanks, Ann. Our president, Mary Fadash, couldn't be here, but she sends her regards and gratitude. The board and supporters of Friends of the Black River Forest in Sheboygan, Wisconsin are honored to be listed with the other freshwater future heroes who strive to protect our many and varied water systems. We're in great company with folks like Maria from Water Walkers and Claire from Rescue Lake Simcoe and Vanessa from Making Sure Enbridge and Sunoco toes the line. But back in 2014, we had no idea what would transpire as we vowed to protect the Black River, Lake Michigan, and its entire ecosystem from destruction by a planned golf course development. Yes, golf course, can you believe it? Our small but mighty group realized that we were dealing with a microcosm of environmental challenges across the region, the nation, and the globe, and Jill just mentioned that. We actively sought out information from other like-minded groups that we could join forces with to amplify our efforts. This resulted in us being the proud recipients of 2 Freshwater Future grants that have helped us move forward as we legally fight this good fight. As a Freshwater Future hero, we know that we are not alone in our struggle to protect the water system in this very important ecological area on the western shores of Lake Michigan, adjacent to our beloved Coloradre State Park. Thank you for this honor, and most importantly, thank you, Jill and Leslie and Ann and Alana and your entire team for all that you are doing to help communities and organizations like ours defend and protect the many natural benefits of freshwater ecosystems now and for our grandchildren and their grandchildren. And Jill mentioned that too. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Claudia. we know how much hard work you've put in to protect that forested wetland. So we really appreciate it, and we'll look forward to hearing more about your continued work in the future.
Thanks.
Actually, our next award is going to be introduced by Jill.
Thanks, Ann. I am so pleased to introduce the next award recipient, and a friend of mine for, I believe, over 20 years now, Maria Maybe. She is a water walker in Western New York, which happens to be where I live as well. She is an amazing advocate. She understands the importance of water and the earth and our connection to it. And she certainly gives freely of herself to make sure that our next generations have those water resources just as we have. So Maria, thank you so much. And I turn it over to you. Oh, you're muted, Maria. There you go.
Sorry about that. Hi, you guys. My name is Maria Maybe. I am a water walker. I live in Western New York. I'm a member of the Seneca Nation of Indians, and I'm from the Cattaraugus territory. And our territory runs on both sides of the last 30 miles of the Cattaraugus Creek. And that's the largest tributary to Lake Erie. This whole environmental world was new to me 30 some years ago. It was like, I think we met around 2000, Jill, and we both started working the same week. And we ended up going to the Tip of the Mitt Watershed. Council had us go up there and meet Jill and meet as a group because we had the hub. And I started to learn more about my backyard in the shores of Lake Michigan, or Lake Michigan, Tip of the Mitt. And it's been an adventure ever since. Through that work with the, I always say Glannis. Through that work, I met a woman named Josephine Mandamin, and we helped fund her work. She walked around the entire Great Lakes Basin, but she started with Lake Superior, and they asked for some funding, and I helped her figure out, you know, how that would work. They were advocating for clean water for the entire area, and that was the basis of our work. And so she created a space for a lot of environmentalists and activists to come together and support all these regions around the entire Great Lakes Basin. And her walk was, you know, she provided that space, but her walk was for prayers for the healing of the waters because they were not well. And she could feel that where she went. So when they came to, finally, they ended up coming to Lake Erie, I seen one of the most fabulous things I've ever seen in my entire life. We walked to the beach, which we call the Seneca Nation Beach at the mouth of the Cattaraugus Creek. And, you know, I've lived there my whole life. It's one of my favorite places to be. And there's a jetty there, and there's, you know, you name it. Any wildlife in the area that comes. But they all came, and they came by, you know, the flocks. I'd never seen so much waterfowl, and they all sat there and watched her go through as she went to the beach. And I knew that I was witnessing something cool and miraculous. And so with her help, I started to walk for the Cattaraugus Creek. We have a Superfund site. It was a leather mill or tanning factory, I guess you call it. And they dumped all their sludge right into the creek for decades. And then we are also downstream from the West Valley Nuclear Waste Facility. And so, you know, there was different, EPA was working on the Superfund site. The first time we had the walk, they were finalizing that. The second time it was for the environmental impact statement for West Valley, like how they were going to clean it up. And I wanted to make sure that people had a chance for input. And so I learned through Josephine and other women how to provide that space to bring people together and taught them how to write what they wanted to say to the Department of Energy. And it just kind of grew from there. So we we did that walk when it was necessary. And then about maybe 10, 12 years ago, one of the elders, Lloyd Elm, he was starting to have dementia. And so he was so adamant that he talked with me and tell me that we needed to do this walk every year. And you don't tell an elder no. So we started doing this walk every year. And you see more and more people, they have a space to start to, you know, have their voices heard within our tribal government, within the little towns right around the area, because it's not just tribal members that come. You know, to have a voice in the United Nations, even, because one of my biggest supporters, June-sun, and she uses this walk as a kickoff to walk to the United Nations every 5 years for the nuclear proliferation treaty talks. And so it's grown and grown. You know, the first time we did it, there was 4 or 5 of us, you know, and everybody had major blisters. And now, you know, I've seen like 100 people at one time. And this year, who knows? You know, it goes up, it goes down. If it's too cold, it's less. If it's really nice out, there's more. We've started having a run because it's a 30-mile walk. And so young people will do like a relay run. For the first 15 miles, we get to the border of the territory, and then we walk it the last 15 miles. And so another thing that's added to it is a paddle. So it's become a walk, run, paddle. And so the next day we do a river cleanup from Gowanda to the mouth, or not to the mouth, to like halfway, because it's too much, I guess, for the guy that organizes that part. But you know, that's fun. You know, that's probably one of the best parts, is to get on that creek, and that's why we're there. You know, is to, you know, the healing of the waters, and part of that is cleaning it up. So I'm really proud and honored that you guys chose me. I can't tell you, at first I didn't get it, and then yesterday when we had a pre-meeting, I got it, and I can't tell you how proud I am of myself and of you guys, I guess, and honored that this is happening, and it's really cool. I told my family this morning, and you know, they were like, "Well, what do you expect?" You know, but we all do it. You know, we all do it. I'm just the mouthpiece, and they do most of the walking. You know, I support them more than I walk, to be very honest, but it's a good thing. So thank you very much, and congratulations to all the other heroes. You know, you are my heroes, and thank you to the Freshwater staff for helping us out.
Thanks, Maria. That was so inspirational and encouraging me to get out there and walk and appreciate all of our resources. And our waters really are revered, and that's what we need to do, is revere them and make sure we pass regulations that protect them. So thank you for all your hard work.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So the next award, actually, you know, the Great Lakes are an international resource. And our next award goes to an Ontario organization, Rescue Lake Simcoe Coalition, for their effective efforts to engage people and influence this decision-making. It all happened because of their executive director, Claire Malcolmson. So Claire has been doing that for a long time as well. So we are very honored to give this award to Claire.
Hello. I'm on a cell phone, so I'm not sure that you can see or hear me. Can you give me a nod? Okay. All right. I don't even know if you can see my head. So I am right now at Queen's Park, which is our legislature in Ontario. I'm here supporting another Water Day event with some other folks that work on water in Simcoe County. So sorry for the background noise, but I don't apologize for being at a water rally. I'm wearing my Water is Sacred flag in solidarity with all of our First Nations friends who have the kinds of values that we all really need to start to espouse and learn from if we are to actually protect our water. We need to be treating it like it's sacred. So thanks so much for this award. I was first introduced to Freshwater Futures when I met Joel Ryan, the the executive director at least 10 years ago while we did executive director training. She was already an ED. I was not, but I was really inspired and continue to be inspired by her work supporting grassroots and dealing with all the complicated freshwater issues that we all try to navigate. And about 10 years later, I became the first executive director of the Rescue Lake Simcoe Coalition, having been working in this area, working on Lake Simcoe for about 10 years. So the first grant that we got from Freshwater Futures was really to build a map of how well protected our forests and wetlands are around the lakes, in the Lake Simcoe watershed. And we did it in one small pocket to begin. This is sort of my volunteer job while I had a baby on the knee, and myself and another dear friend who's sadly departed, Tim Crooks, worked on this project together. And that project, which was very well received locally, we were able to use that Freshwater Future grant and the work that we produced through it as a springboard to then get a much bigger grant a number of years later to do sort of the full vision, which was to map the extent of policy protections of our forests and wetlands across the entire Lake Simcoe watershed. And that generated a report, policy, recommendations, fact sheets, and so on, and is still being used to this day as one of the quivers in our quill in our quiver. Actually, I'm not sure if I got that right. As we help to protect water quality at Lake Simcoe. So thank you very much for the recognition, for the seed funding, and for the ongoing support of our work at Lake Simcoe, which, by the way, is in the Lake Huron watershed, which is part of the Great Lakes watershed, as you all know. Thanks again. Have a great water day.
Thanks, Claire, for continuing to fight and to protest today and support all of the other water people out there who are doing their work. So appreciate it. All right, I'm actually going to pass it back to Jill to introduce our next award.
All right. Thank you, Anne. And it is, again, my extreme pleasure, excuse me, to introduce this award in memory of Bev Dale. She passed recently, and I was really grateful to have known Bev and her husband, Glenn, who did amazing work to protect part of Lake Superior that is just amazing. And I grew to know Bev and Dale years ago and met them at many places, including their home, where they welcomed me so generously. And I miss them both, but we're so pleased today to honor the spirit and the work that they did and brought to all of us. Very generous in spirit and their time. And so I would like to introduce Bev's daughter at this time to give a little bit more information. Kim, are you available?
I believe she's here, so it might just take her a second to unmute.
Sure.
Here she
There we go. I was muted.
Great, thank you.
Thank you and good afternoon. It's quite an honor to be here to speak on behalf of our mother, Bev Dale, today, as you recognize her as a freshwater hero. She would have blushed if she were here today to receive it. Both Bev and our father, Glenn, became involved in Freshwater Futures when there was a threat to Cloud Bay Lake Superior. There was a trailer park that was being proposed on the pristine shores across from where they lived. And it was their hope that they could stop this development, as it would have threatened the wildlife, including the otters and the breeding ground for the waterfowl and migratory wetlands. So with the assistance of groups, this group, Freshwater Futures, they were able to win the battle, and the area remained as a sanctuary. So there is no trailer park there, and the wetlands remain. our mom, Bev, was passionate when she spoke about the work she was doing, and it was very important for her to be involved in this group to ensure the health of the Great Lakes. This all takes hard work and dedication and persistence, and she had that. She not only got to participate in something she believed in, but also had a great time making friends. But by being involved in this group, it grew to even bigger areas of her hoping to help the environment. So I know both her and my father really spoke highly of the work that they were doing and the people that they were involved in. And we'd just like to say thank you very much for this award. It's nice that she was honored, and it makes us very proud. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kim. We appreciate those words. And we also have a short video from Tamara, another daughter of Bev's. Oh, we can't hear her.
You can't hear that, you said?
Right.
Okay. Let me.
Hi, I'm Tamara Hetherington, one of Bev Dale's daughters, and I'm here to you by recording today because I wasn't sure if I could break away from my meetings. Also, my brother Stuart has students, and my sister Deanne has patients. So thank you for being here on this special day to honor Mom, Bev Dale. I know it would have meant so much to her. She would have been honored and humbled. She did the work she did and spent the time and energy advocating for things like water that can't speak for themselves. Because not to be a hero, but because it's the right thing to do. So thank you so much for being here, honoring this day and honoring our mother for who she was. Thank you, take care, and all the best.
Well, thank you so much. And we appreciate all that Bev and Glenn did in their lifetimes for water. And I will, with that, pass it back to Anne.
Thanks, Jill. So our next award is pretty personal. When your water is unsafe to drink, environmental issues really do get personal, right? And the next award goes to Families Reclaiming Our Environment in Marysville, Michigan, for their persistence to fight for enforcement of water and air permits from industrial pollution. And accepting on behalf of this organization is Vanessa Davis.
Hi, thank you so much. I would just like to thank, first of all, God, because without God, I probably wouldn't be here with all this, learning all this stuff, and Freshwater Future for being there, helping us through this process, and also my good friend Kay, because without Kay Kumhow, I would have never known about Freshwater Future. It's been a journey, and like so many of the stories that we have heard today, I was just a simple mom until our water started getting on fire. We couldn't drink it, and then we started having odors, and then became our long journey of finding out what is going on. This isn't normal. And finding out that the regulations are there, but they're not always enforced. And what we need to do, sometimes we have to stand our ground and say enough's enough and keep on fighting. So thank you for all. Our community is becoming aware, because a lot of people they know there's something wrong, but with everything else going on, it's just something else that you don't want to deal with. And you always hear you can't fight City Hall. And sometimes someone's got to make a stand to fight City Hall. And that's what we're doing right now. We're so grateful for Freshwater Future because we got a grant. And with that grant money, we're going to look at air quality, trying to get monitors for the H2S and benzene, because the state of Michigan doesn't think it's valuable to do that. Our water, we've had our water tested, and we're still trying to find out what else we can do. And as we're learning around this process, we're so grateful that we have this support system and all these great, wonderful people to help us that have already dug the trenches for us to help follow through and take our hand as we're just a little baby infant right now. And I'm just so grateful and honored for this opportunity. I really am. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. We know what a tough battle it is. And, you know, the sacrifices that all of our heroes have made personally to then help their community are huge. And we appreciate all of you for that. And there's nobody who knows that more than the person who will be representing the next organizational award. You know, we know that everyone deserves access to safe drinking water. And Benton Harbor, Michigan has had some elevated levels. And we'd like to give the award to the Benton Harbor Community Water Council for their incredible work and dedication to keep pushing to make sure that the residents in that city have safe drinking water. And accepting on their behalf is Reverend Ed Pinkney.
First of all, I'd like to say it's an honor. It's an honor to just be considered for such an award because none of this would be possible without Jill. I got to say that in Freshwater Future. See, things all started with us, with one person, Emma Kennard. When we went out and tested her water, and she took it in, well, before she tested it, we took it into the mayor of Benton Harbor to have them to test it. They refused. So we tested her water, and Freshwater Future sent it out to the University of Michigan Biological Lab, and that's when the ball started rolling. For over 4 years now, the city of Benton Harbor had exceedingly high level of lead. We had even as high as 889 parts per billion of lead. We had one that was 605 parts per billion of lead. We had one that was 449 parts per billion of lead. And they had no intention at this time of doing anything if it wasn't for the Benton Harbor Community Water Council. We decided that we was going to do something more than just that. And we got together with 22 other organizations, and we put the petition together that we filed with the EPA. Now, that petition was crucial, because if we had not filed that petition, the city of Benton Harbor would still be drinking contaminated water right now, and no bottled water. But Freshwater Future was one of the ones who was help funding us to get bottled water to the community. So without them, we could do exactly nothing. We never even ever applied for a grant before. We just didn't do. We just did. We just made out what we did. But Jill said, "Hey, we got, you know, we can help you," and she reached out and helped us. And I am so grateful today that she had it in her heart, and for the residents of Benton Harbor to have clean, safe water was a challenge. And she came to the challenge and helped us build upon this. Where we at today, we could never be without Freshwater Future. And I really want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I can't be no more sincere than what I am. And also, I gotta thank my team too, because we could not do I could not do nothing without them. See, I'm lazy. I gotta confess, I'm lazy. You see. But with them, I make them work. So I don't know whether that's good or bad, you know, but I make them work and they complete the mission. 3 days out of the week, we deliver 19 pallets of water. And we do it in less than 3 hours. And the reason why we do it, because we know that we're on a mission. You see, there's no other way this could have been done. You know, we couldn't do it without God in our life either, you see. So I just want to thank you guys. I just want to thank you. And I want to thank you again. And on behalf of the Benton Harbor Community Water Council, we all thank you. And we're going to complete this mission, because in my eyesight, nothing supersedes the mission. And thank you so much. And a special, special thanks to Jill. That's my girl, you know. And we love you, Jill. We love you, Jill. We love you, Jill. And there's nothing in this world you can do about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Rev. That was fantastic. I know that we have to let you rest for about 20 more minutes, and then you have those water deliveries to make. So we know it's important to get those out. So I'm not sure we deserve the credit because you're the one delivering the water, but we are here to help. So thank you.
Absolutely. And you've definitely been there. Thank you, thank you, thank you again.
All right. So in every organization, there are people in the background that you don't always see on these kind of calls, right? You don't see their picture in the newsletter, or they're not on the website, but their contribution is critical to any kind of success. And at Freshwater Future, our board members are essential to our work. We are really pleased to recognize a few of these board members today. First, we're going to start with Melanie Napoleon Welch for her leadership. And we have a video that Alana will start briefly.
Hello, everyone, and happy World Water Day. Thank you for honoring me as a freshwater hero. I'm sorry I can't be with you to celebrate in person today. I'm on my way to meet with thousands of librarians where a major topic of conversation will include the growing number of challenges, both locally and at the state level, that threaten equitable access to library programs and services, particularly harming library professionals' ability to serve marginalized and underserved communities. Anyone associated with the critical work of Freshwater Future will recognize this trend. The organizations that partner with and benefit from Freshwater Future's programs are on the front lines to protect our precious Great Lakes waters. Freshwater Future understands the harm done to vulnerable communities when their water resources are threatened. Access to clean, safe drinking water and a healthy environment is a baseline for our health and the health of our communities. But in order for Freshwater Future to be a strong and effective organization, it also needs a strong and effective board to ensure its own sustainability. I am proud to have served with a wonderful group of people from around the region and contributed in my small way to ensure a robust and successful organization. I encourage anyone passionate about Freshwater Future's mission to also serve in this way. Again, I thank you for this kind and thoughtful recognition. In closing, I'd like to mention a beautiful children's book called We Are Water Warriors, written by Carol Lindstrom, a member of the Turtle Mountain Tribe of Ojibwe Indians, and illustrated by Michaela Goad, a member of the Tlingit and Haida Indian tribes of Alaska. When faced with the threat of an oil pipeline destroying her community's clean and safe water, the protagonist, a young girl, does not lose hope. She says, "Take courage." And I encourage you all to read and share this book with young people in your lives and continue to take courage, as the work you are doing is one of the most important things you can do, protecting our water for people, for wildlife, and for the health of our communities. Thank you.
We appreciate Melanie so much. She's been a great member of our board, and believe it or not, years ago, she was even a member of our staff. So we appreciate all she does. We're sorry she couldn't be here today, but it's great to hear from her. Our next award recipient is Adam Parker, also a board member.
Hello, everyone.
He is soon stepping off our board because he is termed out. He's served for 6 years, and so he has to step down for at least a little while. But Adam is an amazing person. He's an optimist through and through. He is so cheerful and uplifting, but he's also an amazing professional fundraiser. And he has done that for groups like the Shed Aquarium, for the Latin School in Chicago, and he has shared his knowledge with Freshwater Future, which has been just so helpful. Adam, though, is also this connector, and he has a spirit of abundance and sharing that I think we can all benefit from. He really believes there's, more than enough of everything in the world for all of us. And that if we can keep that in mind, we can fix these problems at all levels. So we just feel so grateful to Adam for all he's done and all he's shared with Freshwater Future and his time on the board. So thank you, Adam. We're missing you today, but thanks for all you've done. And then our last award recipient is also a board member who has served his terms as well. His name is Tom Knott. Tom is an amazing guy who is a professor. He's a CPA. He's, most importantly though, he understands that accounting and record keeping and financial systems need to serve nonprofits, not be there as barriers. And so he amazingly helped us to adjust our systems internally in his time on the board so that it made it much easier. It made it more accessible to the board, and it made us more legally compliant in terms of all of the reporting that we have to do to the government, to funders and donors. So we appreciate all that Tom shared and also his very generous spirit. Tom is, everybody that meets him loves Tom, and we just will miss him as well. So thank you, Tom, for all that you did in your time on the board.
Thanks, Jill. That actually wraps up all of our awards for today. So what we're going to do next is, pass it on to our board president, Stephanie Smith. We believe she's still here. Stephanie, if you're here, we'll try to make sure we can get you on. Give her 10 seconds here. We can't.
Is Stephanie a panelist?
She is not at the moment. So it might be that this might be the closing. Do you want to do a little bit of a closing for us, Jill? I'll send it back to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to be brief because I want people to have a little time to speak with each other. And I want to have you be able to congratulate awardees at the end of the call. I just want to say once again, I feel like we're honoring a bunch of our best friends. Everybody on staff, I know we all feel so grateful to work with all of you on a regular basis, and as well as the hundreds and hundreds and thousands of other advocates that we're very lucky to be working with on a regular basis. And it's really all of your work that makes Freshwater Future work, and it makes our waters work. And so thank you for all you do every day. I know that it's hard work, and many of you are doing this as your second job, and that is really hard. And so we just feel privileged to be able to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And the staff at Freshwater Future all feel privileged to work with each and every one of you. So with that, I think we'll conclude the formal part of the meeting, and Alana is going to try to elevate everybody to a panelist. So if you're out there and you get a request from the administrator to become a panelist, please accept that so we can see and hear you. And so anyone who wants to jump in and say anything or has any comments, congratulations, anything you want to say, feel free to do that. You just have to unmute yourself. Annabelle, hello, it's great to see you there.
I wanted just to say a great, huge thanks to you and all the people in your wonderful organization. I probably have known you since, I guess, you began your work, and
Yes.
and I guess I've been working on water issues for at least 45 years when when I started Owl Magazine. And you are a constant and steady reminder of the human spirit and how we can all make this world a better place. And thank you so much for that. Just positive and go forwardness is a great example. And congratulations to all of the heroes this year. I know Claire very well, of course, and all of it is inspiring and great to be doing it on this World Water Day.
Thank you so much, Annabelle. Those nice comments.
Feel free to unmute yourself, turn your camera on.
Okay, hi, this is Donna. I don't know if I can get my camera on. Let me try and such. I am out in the field. Hold on.
Oh, doing some of that work we're talking about today.
Okay, good. Okay. It's going to be a light or something. I don't know how that's going to work, but I want to just say congratulations to all the awardees. And I would especially like to thank the staff at Freshwater Future for being so helpful with us and our community endeavors. Thank you so much.
It's great to join us, Donna.
Thank you, Donna. Great to see you.
Thank you. Same here. Same here.
Okay, I see you're unmuted.
It's Kay Cumbo. And I just want to say thank you so very much to Freshwater Future for honoring these people who are just giving everything they've got, and some of them for decades and decades. I wanted to say that two of the people that you honored today, Maria Maybe and the Reverend Pinckney, they've been two of my heroes for a long time. So it's so great to see them honored. And I also am so grateful that you would honor Vanessa and her group, families. I forget but families reclaiming our environment, because they've been just sludging down there alone, and it's very, very hard when you're working alone. And I'm sure that everybody else, I was so impressed with all of everyone's story. It's just, it touches the heart that so many people care about the people in their community and care about the fresh waters of the Great Lakes. So thank you.
Thanks, Kay. We appreciate all you do too. Believe me, you have done an incredible amount of work over the years and continue to. So yes, thank you. And I guess I just want to yell out really quickly that I know it may seem that you're alone, but really you never are, because we are here. So if even if you're just having a bad day and you want to call, we'll be here to answer the call and do our best to help you see the light for tomorrow.
Absolutely. Any other thoughts or comments to the group?
Hi. I would like to say something, if that's okay.
Sure, Vanessa, absolutely.
I would just like to say thank you for being there on them days when you need that extra sunshine when it's raining. You guys are awesome, and there's so many people that could not be doing what they're doing without you guys, and we greatly appreciate every one of you and all the other heroes out there that are being heard and not heard. Thanks for the hope. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Jill?
you. That's so nice. Hi, Dale.
Jill, hi, how are you?
I'm well.
I would, excuse me, I would just like to congratulate all of the recipients of the Freshwater Hero Award and let you know that the Freshwater organization has been instrumental in the coalition to save the Menominee River. We learn from each other. You know, there are organizations who are much more advanced than we are, and we learn from them. And we are so grateful for providing this highway of education for all of us who feel the need to protect our waters. I don't think there's a better gift that you can give your children or your grandchildren than a clean glass of water. And very grateful for everyone's work, and keep the fight, folks. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Dale.
Stephanie Smith joined us.
She did. Hi, Stephanie. Are you able to unmute?
Oh.
Oh, you're muted.
Well, let me try that again then. Happy World Water Day. Hi, everybody.
Thank you.
Great to see you all here. Look at this gathering. I'm going from World Water Day gathering to World Water Day gathering, so it's like a party all day here.
I love it. And we've just concluded with the awards piece, and we're kind of having an open forum now. If there's anything you would like to say from the board chair of Freshwater Future.
Yes, I absolutely. And I actually have the completely wrong time on my calendar, so we'll just say that right up front. But I have a remark or two that I would love to say, and I'm sorry I missed the actual awards. I was running another event that had other water heroes and warriors at it as well. So what I want to say that, first of all, I don't know if this was recorded, but I'm going to go back and listen so I can hear what I missed. But I wanted to say one of the things that came up in my previous session that I'd just like to share here today is the thinking about the interconnections between all of our work. I was at an event where we were connecting people who do water work across different sectors. And one of the quotes that we used at our session, I just want to share here. It's my theme for the day. And it's by Ban Ki-moon, who is the 8th Secretary General of the United Nations, who said, saving our planet, lifting people out of poverty, advancing economic growth, these are one and the same fight. We must connect the dots between climate change, water scarcity, energy shortages, global health, food security, and women's empowerment. Solutions to one problem must be solutions for all. Missing from this quote, I think, is also water pollution and a couple other key water issues that I'm sure came up here as part of these water heroes and this work, and thinking about education and community engagement, which is one of the most important things that we can all be doing from day to day, talking about our water stories, our water connections, the importance of water in our lives, and normalizing that conversation so that we're able to really come together to accelerate the pace of positive change that we need to see around the world. So just it's such an honor to be here among you all who are doing this work, who are, day to day, making that change happen, living the change. The world doesn't change by us looking at it, but how we live in it, and knowing that I'm surrounded by those of you who are doing that work every day. Just an honor to be here, and I send huge congratulations to you all as water heroes and water warriors, doing the work that this planet needs, that these people, our neighbors, our friends, our family, all need. So thank you. Just sending thanks.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, for your great words and also all you do for us on the board. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yes, it's a pleasure.
So just to check in, were there any other thoughts or comments folks wanted to share, including Freshwater Future staff? You shouldn't feel like you can't jump in if you'd like. Yes, Regina Hawk, hi.
Hi. Let's see, I'm a new volunteer, being a water protector, working with the Water is Life Festival down in Mackinac City. And I work with Janine Cornstalk, doing a lot of work with her, trying to find grants for the festival and things like that, just the unofficial stuff that I just recently joined. We're also creating a board with a group, and I just recently joined that. I'm more of a observer and listener here. I've been a earth activist for my entire life, but I'm a recent transplant from Long Island into Michigan, northern Michigan, and now I permanently live here on women's land. So all of the stuff that I'm connected with is women-led, and that's really fun to finally be on women's land and to support water protectors. I was part of the paddle out at the Mackinac City Bridge last year, and that was my first event. So that was a lot of fun. We were supposed to do a Zoom today also, but I'm technically a little unsavvy, so I'm not sure what happened with that. I've been trying to contact Janann, and that's been an issue. So I came here instead because I actually signed up for this as well. So I'm very happy to meet you all and to be a part of this and to learn and just to meet everybody. So thank you.
Thank you, Regina. We appreciate that you're here, and we hope Janann's event will still go forward. And if she needs help, we'll be off here soon and we'll try to help her. So that's great. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Welcome. Look forward to working with you more.
Thank you. Thank you. Me too.
Anyone else? Any other words before we break up to grab some lunch? All right, I think then if there's no other last remarks, we will conclude our award festival, and we hope that you all enjoy the rest of your day and celebrate World Water Day. Appreciate every drink that you take when you turn on that faucet, and I hope you all have a great day.
Thank you all so much. Have a great, wonderful day.
Thank you. Great to see you all.
You too.
Bye, you guys. Thank you very much. Maninyawe.
Bye, you guys. Maria.
Thank you for everything.
So long, Vanessa.
Bye.
All right. Nice job, Alana, and everyone. And thank you for your great
Jill,
emceeing and technology and all of it. Beautiful.
Whew. Following up on Janann, I looked at her website.